Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to Ujar program Unpam Mengajar. I'm Nurdin, English Department Lecturer for Basic Grammar. I'm going to share material about comparison degree. This program will be divided into some episodes, so keep watching and don't miss it. Stay tuned on Sasmita Jaya TV Berbagi untuk Negeri. Hi everyone, this time we will discuss about comparison degree and the kinds of comparison degree. Comparison degree is a term in English grammar that is used to show comparisons. What we need to know in comparison degree, we put more pressures on changes from adjective and also adverbs according to the level of comparisons. We often use comparisons between people, objects, and animals in communicating. In making comparisons, it usually consists of at least two objects as comparison materials. There are three kinds of comparison degree, namely, first, positive degree, second, comparative degree, and the third, superlative degree. By knowing the kinds of comparison degree, we can analyze, understand, and distinguish how to use them. Let's start with the first kind of comparison degree. Positive degree. The first type of positive degree is as adjective as. As adjective as is used to say that the two parts of comparisons are equal or the same in some way. As plus adjective plus as. Tina is 21 years old. Sam is also 21. Tina is old as Sam. In B, as plus adverb as. Mike came as quickly as he could. The other example of positive degree sentences for adjective, your words are always as sweet as sugar. This result is as bad as yesterday. Samson is as strong as an elephant. I want to look as beautiful as my mother. You should practice karate as often as you can. Ben looks as handsome as Arya. She is as smart as her sister. For negative sentence, in positive degree, as adjective as, look at the following example. Ted is 20. Tina is 20. Ted is not as old as Tina. Ted is not quite as old as Tina. Not quite as adjective as means a small difference. Amy is 5. She isn't nearly as old as Tina. Not nearly as adjective as means a big difference. Sam is just as old as Tina. Ted is nearly or almost as old as Tina. Common modifiers of as adjective are just, meaning exactly and nearly or almost. Example of positive degree sentences for adverbs. The actor acts the scene as sorrowfully as possible. I slept as easily as how I fainted. Tiara walked as lazily as my grandma. The second type of positive degree is like. It's not just the word as that can be used to show positive degree. Another word that can be used to show positive degree is like. This word is usually used to compare one object to another, so the difference from the object can be clear. To be understand example of positive degree sentences with like, it is better if we study how the formula is written or arranged. The positive degree formula with like is positive degree plus like plus object. So, the word like is placed after the positive degree, which is then followed by the object. Look at the following examples. Positive degree with the word like is, I'm short like my mother. My little sister is beautiful like a berry. The watermelon is round like a ball. The teacher is not fierce like what you think. The second type of comparison degree is comparative degree. Comparative degree is the second or middle degree of comparison on adjective and adverbs. So, in English, this comparative sentence is called comparative degree. Comparative adjectives are used to compare differences between two objects they modify, like larger, smaller, faster, or higher. They are used in sentences where two nouns are compared in this pattern: noun or subject plus verb plus comparative degree plus than plus noun or object. Comparative degree is divided into three types. Let's analyze the first type. It is comparative degree one syllable with ER. Comparative one syllables add ER form the comparative. If the adjective has consonant plus single vowel plus consonant spelling, the final consonant must be doubled before adding the ending. Cheap is pronounced cheap, not cheap. Large is pronounced large, not larger. Another example, like tall becomes taller, fat becomes fatter, big becomes bigger, sad becomes sadder. For example, I'm older than my brother is. I'm older than he is. Another example, I'm older than him, for informal sentence. Explanation. In formal English, a subject pronoun like he follows than as in be. In everyday, informal spoken English, an object pronoun or him often follows than as in she. Example, he works harder than I do. I arrived earlier than they did. Explanations. Frequently, an auxiliary verb follow the subject after than. In then I do means then I work. Another example, Tom is much or a lot or far older than I am. Incorrect sentence, Tom is very older than I am. Example G, Anne drives much or a lot or far more carefully than she used to. Example H, Ben is little bit older than me. For explanation, very often modifies adjective and adverb. Example, Tom is very old. He drives very carefully. However, very is not used to modify comparative adjective and adverbs. Instead, they are often modified by much, a lot, or far as in F and example G. Another common modifier is a little or a little bit as in example H. Example I, a pen is less expensive than a book. Example J, a pen is not as expensive as a book. Example K, a pen is not as large as a book. Incorrect sentence, a pen is less large than a book. For explanations, the opposite of ER or more is expressed by less or not as in example I and example G. Have the same meaning. Less, not as, adjective as is used with adjective and adverbs of more than one syllable. Only not as, adjective as, or not less is used with one syllable, adjective or adverb as in example K. The other examples, I am older than my brother is, he works harder than I do, I arrived earlier than they did, my house is larger than hers, this book is smaller than one I lost, your dog ran faster than Jim's dog, the rock flew higher than the roof. The second type of comparative degree is comparative degree two syllables with ER or more. Adjectives with two syllables can form the comparative either by adding ER or by preceding the adjective with more. In many cases, both forms are used, although one's usage will be more common than the other. For adjective ending in Y, change the Y to an I before adding the ending. For example, happy becomes happier, easy becomes easier, simple becomes simpler, busy becomes busier, tilted becomes more tilted, tangled become more tangled. For example, I will tell you the easier way to solve the problem than before. My father is the busier than my mom. I will make you as happier than yesterday. Well, let's continue to the next type of comparative degree. It is comparative degree 3 or more syllables with more. Adjectives with 3 or more syllables form the comparative by putting more in front of the adjectives. For example, important become more important, Expensive become more expensive. Dangerous becomes more dangerous. Look at the example below. Education is more important than lifestyle. My new bag is more expensive than yours. Our area will be more dangerous in every night than afternoon. Besides regular adjective in comparison, there are irregular comparative of adjective. They are good becomes better, bad becomes worse, little becomes less, much becomes more, and far becomes further or farther. Look at the following examples. You play tennis better than I do. This is the least expensive sweater in the store. I ran pretty far yesterday, but I ran even farther today. With adverbs ending in ly, you must use more to form the comparative. For example, quietly becomes more quietly, slowly becomes more slowly, seriously becomes more seriously. Look at the following examples. The teacher spoke more slowly to help us to understand. Could you sing more quietly, please? Moreover, there are some irregular comparative forms of adverb as the following. Badly becomes worse, far becomes farther and further, little becomes less, and well becomes better. Look at the following examples. The little boy ran farther than his friends. You're driving worse today than yesterday. Now, my condition is better than yesterday. My dad uses less sugar than usually. Now, we learn and analyze to the last type of comparison degree. It is superlative degree. Superlative are the names given to grammars that are used to compare three or more people, things, or animals. When using the superlative, we are only talking about one person, thing, or animals. For example, about how great, bad, good, and so on that person, thing, or animal is. It can be said that the superlative refers to something that it most among the others, so that when applied in a sentence, no other object but only one object is mentioned. Same with comparative degree. Superlative degree is also divided in three types. The first type of superlative degree is superlative degree one syllable with est. Superlative degree one syllable with est. Add est for the superlative if the adjective has consonant plus single vowel plus consonant spelling. The final consonant must be doubled before adding the ending. Look at this table. Tall becomes tallest, fat becomes fattest, big becomes biggest, sad becomes saddest, and long becomes longest. For examples, I stayed in Aceh. It is the longest distance between me and my parents. My son is the tallest of our family. Your book, fiction, is the saddest story that I have ever read. The second type of superlative degree is superlative degree two syllables with est or the most. This adjective form the superlative either by adding est or by preceding the adjective with the most. In many cases, both forms are used, although one usage will be more common than the other. If you are not sure whether a two syllables adjective superlative ending, play it safe and use more and most instead. For adjective ending in y, change the y to an I before ending the ending. For example, happy become happiest, simple become simplest, easy become easiest, busy become busiest, tilted become most tilted, and tangled become most tangled. Look at the following examples. I will tell you the easiest way to solve the problem. My father is the busiest man in our house. I will make you as happy as children in my life. English, the simplest subject in my opinion. The last type of superlative degree is superlative degree three or more syllables with the most. Adjective with three or more syllables form the superlative by putting most in front of the adjective. For example, important becomes the most important, expensive becomes the most expensive, dangerous becomes the most dangerous. Look at some examples below. Education is the most important in my life. My new bag is the most expensive of my friends. Our area will be the most dangerous in every night. Irregular superlative. This very common adjective have completely irregular superlative of adjective forms. Good become the best, bad become the worst, little become the least, much become the most, far become the farthest or the furthest. Look at the following examples. Today is the worst day I have had in a long time. This is the least expensive sweater in the store. Indonesia is the most beautiful country for me. My house is the furthest distance of my college house. Superlative of adverbs. With adverbs ending in ly, you must use more to form the comparative and most to form the superlative. For example, quietly becomes the most quietly, slowly become the most slowly, quickly becomes the most quickly, seriously become the most seriously. For example, in a sentence, the teacher spoke more slowly to help us to understand. Could you sing more quietly, please? Of all my assistants, he can write a report the most quickly. In addition, with short adverbs that do not end in ly, comparative and superlative forms are identical to adjective. Add est to form the superlative. If the adverb ends in e, remove it before adding the ending. For example, hard become the hardest, fast become the fastest, late become the latest. Everyone in the race ran fast, but John ran the fastest of all. My niece always the last in doing homework. Moreover, there are some irregular superlative forms of adverbs as the following. For example, bad become the worst, far become the furthest or the furthest, little become the least, well become the best. Example in sentence, you're driving worst of all your friends. He played the best of any player. The superlative compare one part of whole group to all the rest of the group. Form est or the most. Notice superlative begins with the. Tokyo is one of the largest cities in the world. David is the most generous person I have ever known. I have 3 books. These 2 are quite good, but this one is the best book of all. Typical completions when a superlative is used in a, superlative plus in a plus, the world, this class, my family, the corporation, etc. In example B, superlative plus adjective clause. In example C, superlative plus of all. Example D, I took for final exam. The final in accounting was the least difficult one of all. The least has the opposite meaning of the most. Example E, A, B, C, and D are sisters. A is the oldest of all 4 sisters. Example F, a woman in Turkey claims to be the oldest person in the world. Example G, Ed is the most generous person in his family. Now we come to the end of this session and it's your turn to start learning, understanding and identify about using all types of comparison degree. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next episode. Salam Ujar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
You can speak English?
Of course, I also study at Universitas Pamulang. I took English literature.
Are you guys talking about English literature? You're students too? Definitely. By the way, in Universitas Pamulang, English literature provides several subjects such as children literature, film studies, popular literature, and drama performance.
It's only for 200,000 rupiahs per month.
Don't be afraid if you are working. Universitas Pamulang makes it easy for those who work by providing employee class with hundreds of enrolled students who study here because of its flexible scheduling. Register now and enjoy the benefits for joining English literature at Universitas Pamulang.
English Literature Department is your home.